Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be looking into the module 3 concepts, which is the backup, archive, and replication. How do we get the data which has been lost? We try to replicate it, and how do we archive? That means, how do we compress that data and try to recover? So, again, this module is divided into your 4 chapters. The first chapter is Introduction to Business Continuity. As you people know that how much information or the data is important, all right? So the same way, whenever we are looking into the information, especially in terms of the business operation, the data is very much important. Now for example is, you open any web application, you open any particular application or app, you open anywhere. As soon as you open, we don't have what you say, the time to wait. We are not in a mode of even the buffering zone also. Previously we used to wait, we used to say it is been buffered, but now no, we are not taking that loss. Even the company is also not bearing that loss. The time they have been wasting in term to get the information, that much loss is there for the company. Every minute, every second is important for each and every organization or the company. That information has to be made available, right? If in case the information is not been available, then automatically what happens, the sales what are been taking, the product that the user is going to place, the company is going to lose. So for that purpose, this data availability has to be done at each and every point of the time, right? Then next one, what made these information unavailable, right? What is that causing the data is not been available for the user at all the time? So there are mainly three threats. The first one is natural disaster, second one is unplanned occurrences, and the third one is planned occurrences. Now for example, if I have to give you is, now there is a raining, huge rain is taking place. At such a situation, you don't get the data that is being required for you. Then obviously, then you are not going to trust that any more application, then obviously you will uninstall. When you uninstall, that means that much amount is being reduced to the company. Like that, so many people have been there. So any data you have been requesting or you are making a call, emergency call also has to be connected. So that means if it is not getting connected, then the information is unavailable. In a planned occurrences and unplanned occurrences also, there is a threat that the information is not available. So for that purpose, we have a term called as a business continuity, where we say that the information is available to the users, right? It can be either internal or it can be external, so that it is making sure that whatever the threats are available, it is going to overcome. So this business is going to continue irrespective of the data, the system is working properly or it is not been working properly. So what this business continuity is going to do is, it is going to provide the infrastructure and make sure that whatever the what you say, the unavailability of the data is being there, it makes sure the data is being produced. It is making sure that it is going to prepare, respond, or it is going to recover. So that the main goal of this business continuity is information availability. Okay, the next one is, yeah. Moving on, what is this information availability? Information availability, it refers to the ability of an IT infrastructure to function according to the business expectation during its specified time of the operation. Simple definition: availability of the information whenever they want to perform any sort of an operation. make sure that it can be either employee, it can be your customers, suppliers, or the partners, right? A simple example if I have to take is, you open the application to book a car, and you're searching for a nearby location. You want to travel from one place to the another place, and at that particular point the availability of the car is not being shown. Then I can say that the business is not going to continue anymore, because the car is not being available. Then obviously what happens? The loss is for the company, right? Now when I say the information availability, it is being defined mainly in terms of the three terms. The first one is accessibility, the second one is a reliability, and the third one is a timeliness. First one is, what is this accessibility? Here he tells that the information should be accessible to the user whenever he requires. Please try to concentrate that the availability of the information is, it begins from your mobile itself. You open a web page, the web page should be available for you. If it is not available, then the money that is being credited to the company is in loss. Now you might be saying that, madam, how is it in terms of loss? For example, if you give in a Google search, right? For example, if I say information management system, that search is giving as, let me take as $1 for the company. Are you understanding from where it is being deducted? From your the mobile data, whatever you have been recharged information. So Google search you are using it, so that much amount is being given to the company. Then in case you are using the maps and you give the from and to, when it is searching from and to location, that search point whatever is being taken, that the location it has been searching and it is giving you correct location, even that search is also fetching the money for the Google, right? So in this way the money is being credited to the Google account from your recharge or from your data plans. So how much you use it, that much amount is being credited to that particular company. For example, you use UC browsers, so that money will be credited to them. For example, you are using particular applications, that is mobile applications, you are using Zomato, you give from address the money is being deducted, to address again the money is deducted. You are being searching, the images are being available for you at that particular point of time. Then for that every search what you do is, that much amount is being deducted. So the amount when I say, it is in terms of your MB of the data that is being deducted. So this is how the transactions takes place. And that is why if you see, always Amazon owner, that CEO is always on the topmost, where he is being proved to be the richest. You can see that many number of the people are doing all the transactions each and every day, right? So this is how they are being making sure that accessibility of the information is being available or at all the time. It shows each and everything, whatever you browse, any you give filters, you sort it, so everything is being available. So that is how the information availability is being done. Okay, so moving on to the reliability. Information is reliable, that means it is correct. No more what you say, the corrupted data. If in case the data is not been available, you have been giving it as out of the stock, right? So that all the applications, all those commands have to be programmed very well. And timeliness means it is going to define the time duration during which your information is available. So I want to give a best example for this is, you might have seen the Indian railway reservation, where it has been open, the website is open for the tatkal booking from if I take it as 11 o'clock up to 11:15. So at that timeliness you have to make sure that the Indian railway systems make sure that the server is available for each and everyone at that particular time. After 11:15, even 1 second, the server will not be available to book under the tatkal. So this is called as the timeliness, which is helping for the information availability. Okay, hope these concepts are clear for you people. Then moving on, we can say that what is it making, what do you say, the factors or the causes because of which the information is unavailable. Many a times we say that the server is very slow, it is taking some time, the data is not being available, or the network is issues is being there, it is not showing a proper map and all. Why is that so? Is mainly there are two types. One is a planned and unplanned incidents. So out of this you can see this graph, we have been having the three disasters. The first one is very 1% is been computing for the disaster. The second one is for unplanned outages, which is due to the failures, and many a times it is for the planned outages itself. All right. So, what are these? What do you say? Outages that is been creating for the disruption of the information, or I can say that information is unavailable. So in terms of the disaster, whenever there is a flood or a fire or a earthquake, right, so that has been causing, especially whenever your database is getting corrupted or any component fails or there is a human error, right, at that time the information is not available. Or many a times it may so happen that you are trying to back up the data at that particular time of the system, sorry, at that particular point of the time the system has to wait. And it can be data warehouse extracts, you are trying to transfer the data, or in terms of the application and data restoring you are doing it, or you are installing and integrating two or more what do you say, the components or the operating system. At that particular time also the data might not be available, right? And then we can see that what are these consequences for the downtime. When I say downtime, that means the data is unavailable. The first one is he's talking about the lost productivity, and the second one he is talking about the lost revenue. The third one is a financial performance, and the fourth one is damaged reputation, right? Now first, if you have to see this lost productivity, why the information is unavailable. It may be because of the employees having a working impact, or it might be the failure of the equipment or unavailability of the labors. If you see in the huge organizations or in the MNCs, there is always a backup for the employees. The people will be, the recruitment is being done for 2 or 3 years in advance for upcoming projects, so that they show that yes, we can take up that project, right? In terms of the lost revenue, why they lose it is because of direct loss, or it can be compensatory payments or billing losses, it can be there, or in terms of investment loss. These are because I can say that the application whatever is being available, the users are not using that one. Or your there is some billing losses. Example, you book some product, and there is a variation in the billings and all. So because of that also, the information unavailability it is going to cause. In terms of financial performance, it can be in terms of cash flow, lost discounts, or the payment guarantees, or credit rating, or it can be due to even stock price also. Please remember, even the stock price plays a very much important role in the availability of the data. Or it can be damaged reputation, because the customers are not happy, the suppliers are not happy, or it can be due to the banks or the business partners. So please remember, each and everything is going to help in terms of the unavailability. For example, is you have installed the Flipkart, you have installed Amazon, and the delivery the supplier is going to deliver the product after 8 days. Then you're not being happy, and you listen from your another friend that the XYZ application is providing the delivery within just 3 days. Then what happens? You are going to just uninstall that app because the information is not available. I can say information is not available, that means there is a delay in the delivery of the product. Then obviously you're not being happy. Then you are going to uninstall, and you are going to use other what you say, you are going to install the XYZ app. So these all together are going to what you say, lead into the downtime of any particular application or the data. Okay, now how are they going to calculate these all the downtimes? The first one is average cost of the downtime per hour, they are going to calculate it. average productivity loss per hour plus the average revenue loss per hour, right? This has been calculated. Average productivity loss per hour. So how the productivity is being calculated and how there is a loss, they are going to calculate as total salaries and benefits of all the employee per week divided by the average number of workings per week, right? And the average revenue loss, how they are going to calculate is the total revenue of organization per week, how much it is going to generate, divided by average number of hours per week that an organization is open for the business. So if you see that the many of the organizations, their working period is from Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday they give it off, mainly because they want to increase the productivity of the employee. Each and every minute what a employee is going to do in a company is going to affect the what you say, the productivity, and that productivity is directly going to have an impact on the availability, and that one is going to have the impact on the what do you say, the profit and the loss of the company. So each and every person working in an organization, his time is important. Okay, so please remember the time is very much important, especially when you have been working. Now we can check that how are we going to measure this information availability, right? So first he is talking about the term called as a failure. Failure means the termination of component's ability to perform a required function. So when component is not able to perform whatever the function is being required, then obviously there is a failure of that component. And when the component is going to fail, then the user or the system has to sit idle, right? In such a way, what they are trying to do is, so that again the system get back to the functioning, is either they go for manual reboot or they go for a repair. Many a times now during this slot, how it is going to calculate this business, or how I can say that how this business is going to be continue even when the system fails, that is important. For example, if you imagine, whenever you log in or you try to search, the Google gives always the answer. It doesn't mean that the Google is never going to fail. There are some problems, there are some updates going on every time. They try to have some additional plugins, they have some additional settings. This all update, whenever they are been doing, there is some sort of a failure. And how are they going to make sure still the business continues, right? And during that particular period of the time when the system is going to fail, what is the alternate setup they have done and how are they going to calculate that? So that is being measured using mean time between the failure and mean time to repair, right? So we'll see that what does the mean time between the failure and mean time to repair exactly tells, right? Now you can check this. This is a timeline. Each and every time there is an incident taking place. For example, you can check here the detection is being done, the diagnose, there is a repair time so that it is going to function normally. And when it is being recovered, you can check that this is a uptime, that means it has to start functioning. And you can check this is a downtime where they have been saying that the system is not functioning properly. When I say mean time between the failure, that means average time available for the system or component to perform its normal operation between the failures. So even if the system is being failed, it has to perform the operations for me, right? The mean time to the repair, right? It is the time required to repair a failed component. How much time you require total when the system is off to the number of the failures, right? So that means the component has been failed, so the component is not working. So from that particular period of the time, how many failures are there and how much it is been requiring to repair that one, so that is mean time to repair. Now when I check that availability of the information, that is IA, information availability, I calculate it as mean time between failure divided by mean time between the failure plus mean time to repair. So whatever the, in case the failure takes place, that means it is performing the operation total, that the time it is been available, and it is going to take the time to repair. So in short, if I say the uptime is the time it is been working or it is accessible for me, and downtime means the time period which system is not performing any sort of operations. So this total sum and the time it has been working divided by the uptime plus the downtime, right? So this is what are the some mathematical instructions being used. Moving on to the next one is, there are some terminologies related to the business continuity. The first one is a disaster recovery. So these are going to help me in terms of restoring the data, applying the logs, especially in terms of your database whenever it goes in a loss, right? You are what you say, you are trying to access this, there is a failure of the power, again the system has to regain from the point where you have been lost. So that is called as a restoring point, right? The second one is the disaster restart, the point from where you have been stopped, all the copies and the applications have to be available, and the what do you say, uh, the business has to continue. I can say that the information should be available for the user. Then we have the recovery point objective. It is the time where it is telling the system that it has to be recovered after a failure, that means after the unavailability of the data. So here when we have been checking the recovery point, there is in terms of the you can check in terms of the seconds, minutes, hours, days and the week where we are going to recover the data in terms of synchronous replication, asynchronous replication. So you can check this synchronous and asynchronous is done within the hours, minutes and seconds. So very fast this operation has to be done. Periodic replication is taken in terms of the days, and tape backup is done on the weeks. So if you check in all the government organizations and all, whatever you do for a per week, right, that Saturday and Sunday, that time they have been using it to recover all the data. If in case they have to store it, they have been storing it, and at what particular point the systems were not been working properly, so that operations are being done, right? Next one is a recovery time objective. In this recovery time objective, they are going to check that the time within which the systems and applications must be recovered, either they have to be recovered at 72 hours or within 12 hours or within few hours or within the few seconds. Now you can check here, there is a cluster, they are using manual migration, they are using from the disk restore or the tape restore. So these are all the what you say, the components using which they are going to recover the data, or they are going to recover at the particular point, right? And then we are having a vault. The data vault is a repository where the data is being periodically and continuously copied, so that we are going to get the data or a copy of a data at the another site. And we have the hot site. What this hot site mean is, whenever there is the disaster taking place, at that time the hardware operating system, the applications and the network support is going to perform all the operations, and it is going to make sure that each and every equipment is available and it is running all the times. The next one, we have a cold site. It is available, or you can say that whenever a disaster takes place, the organization is moving, and it is not being activated all the time, right? So it is having all the components. Whenever there is a failure or a disaster, only at that time this cold site is being activated. In the server clustering, what they do is, there is a group of the servers, right? They are going to hold what you say, they are having n number of the nodes. The data will be stored on each and every what you say, uh, sorry, the data will be stored on one particular server, right? That is called as data server. And from this one, the data will be transferred to each and every node. Suppose in case this data is going to fail, that means this node is going to fail, then automatically there is a backup for this one, right? So this is total going to form a cluster, and within this cluster we have got a cluster head who is going to look after all the operations of each and every node. Okay, so this is how these are the basic terminologies that you people need to remember, right? Moving on to the next one. Yeah, we can see that business continuity planning life cycle, which is involving totally the five stages. The first one is establishing the objectives. Why do we need to establish these objectives? So that what are the requirements, what will be the budget, and we need to check what are the experts, and we need to frame the policies. Please remember, business continuity, in each and every aspect the business has to continue. That means the information has to be available. So this what do you say, the life cycle is being designed so that the information is available at all the point, and how can we recover the data. If you remember your software life cycle, making sure that how do we design each and every component, the same way this is also being done. So we need to analyze or establish what are the objectives, analyze that one, we have to design and develop, then we need to implement and we need to test that, so that okay, this is being available, this is fine to work in each and every aspect, right? Then the second one is, once we analyze, in this analyzing what we are trying to do, we try to collect the information, we check what is it having the impact on the business, we are going to identify what are the critical recovery priorities, we perform the risk analysis, and we also look into what is the benefit, and we evaluate all these options, right? So next, moving on, in the design and developing, we are going to make a team where we are going to assign the roles and responsibilities, how are we going to protect this data, and we are going to develop an infrastructure or an architecture, I can say, and what are the what you say, the solutions, right? And whenever there is an emergency, how can we restart and recover all this data. And whenever we are being going for the next stage, that is implementation, how best we can implement this risk management, how can we get this backup, the replication of the data, and whenever there is a disaster, how to get the data from those sites, right? And also make sure that the data, sorry, the resources are available, right? And in the terms of training and testing, we are going to check that how this backup has to be done, right? How we need to check that okay, whatever the data is being recovered is the same as the previous, and how we have to train the employees so that they get this data back. And also we need to have these recovery plans, and we have to make sure again the performance is being met, right, within the specified limitations itself. So this all together, right, this planning is, or this planning cycle is going to help that the information available, the information is available to the users in each and every aspect. For example, in case you are going to stop, like for example you have booked a product, you just log out from that one, or your system is going to crash at that particular point, there is a power off, again you start that one, the operation has to begin from there itself, right? So what all you had been ordered, and from which point it has to start. So that is how you are going to implement that recovery of the data, and you are going to test that one. So this is how the continuity of the business is being done, right? This requires a lot of what you say, the experience to make sure that the data is available at each and every point of time. Now you can check that previously we were not getting the data, but now as the technology is advancing, we are getting the information at each and every aspect. Now as the networks are moving from 2G to 3G, from 4G, then now exactly now if you take the iPhone 12 has come up with the 5G technology and making it very faster. That means the availability of the data is being made faster, even in case the system fails, right? So at the front end, we are not knowing that how this recovery is being done. But at the back end, if you go at the company organization level, this backup, restoring this infrastructure, investing in the infrastructure is a huge, right? So this takes a lot of time for the organization to come up with the huge investments, right? Okay, so this was all about the business continuity for the day. So in the upcoming classes we'll be looking into the failure analysis and all. Okay, thank you.